Welcome to the Timbo Show, starring Timbo. How y'all doing today? I'm the executive producer, writer, key grip, dolly operator. I'm the HNIC. I do a lot on this production. AJ Henry is co-creator, Bryce Cook is the supervising producer, and William Cooper is executive consultant. Welcome. This is my second or third attempt to do the Timbo Show starring Timbo. But I'm not giving in. I don't give up or give in. Welcome to the Timbo Show. I don't own the rights to this music. I have three topics, as usual. My first topic is Juneteenth, again. My second topic is Iran, again. And my third topic is dealing with my local church, again. But I really want to make this important video because this has been a good weekend for my family members, my immediate family. Because one of us got elevated to Dr. Queen Washington. They hooded her. And I did a little research, as I always do, because I'm a researcher. When you receive your PhD, that's far as you can go in that particular field. You go from being educated to the one to do the educating. That's why they have to bow down and get their hood. Because the rest of the graduates, the bachelors and the masters, they still working toward a goal. But when you get that hood, you reach the top of your educational goal. Shout out to Queen Esther Washington Park and the Park 11. My mother and dad, they happy up in heaven. Because a lot of people doubted Queen, but Queen never doubted herself. Because people used to say, Queen, I don't know. But it ain't where you start, it's where you finish. Shout out Queen Esther, Dr. Washington. And my first topic is about Juneteenth. Something that really I want to expand and expound on. I like this song here, ladies and gentlemen. Because I stand on business. This could have been my theme song in my younger days. Yeah, I'm from the Delta, y'all. Where all that great music came from. You either stand on it or you don't. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, that's enough. You're overdoing it. But welcome to the Timbo Show, starring Tim Faulkner. Well, my first topic is Juneteenth. Juneteenth, June 19, 1865, stands out for a reason to people who are of African descent. Now, some of us want to get away from that African descent and say we was, some of the FBA said, we're not from West Africa. We were always here. Well, I beg to differ, but I'm not going down that road today. What I do know is that if you were dark-skinned and had melanin in your skin, they enslaved your butt until June 19, 1865. They ain't asked no questions. Was you a foundational black American or were you just a dark-skinned? If you were dark-skinned, then they were going to enslave you. A lot of the slave owners enslaved their own children. Thomas Jefferson. I don't know how you can enslave your own children, but they did for profit. But what I'm saying to you is the founding fathers on July 4th, 1776, they got together and made a Declaration of Independence from England. And they were all happy. They was like, we're free. Except for women, except for African Americans, except for Native Americans, except for poor white males who didn't own the land. So the only people basically were free were white male landowners. Look it up. So I have a question. I can't tell you how to celebrate the 4th of July. But when you out there popping those firecrackers and watching them fireworks, ask yourself a question. Let's say, you don't say Timbo because that's me. Whatever your name is, fill in the blank. Say, on July 4th, 1776, what would have been my status? I already know what my status would be. A dark-skinned man that's got African sort of looks. I wouldn't even been in the house passing out water. I'd have been out in them fields from can see to can't see. I already know. July 4, 1776, Timbo Faulkner, they'd have been working like a Hebrew slave. But, what, 60, how many years from 76 to 65? What, 90 years or however long? But 90 years later, I might be off on the math. However, on July 19, 1865, a Union general went down to Galveston, Texas, and told, y'all free. Y'all didn't get the memo? Well, they might have had memos. If you didn't get the memo, they're like, no, we didn't get the memo. You've been free for a few years now. But the white landowners, slave owners of the enslaved, they had one more crop they were trying to get out. Before, they was like, man, we got that cotton or whatever they grew down in Galveston. We can't let them know. No, man, they don't need to know nothing. So they was just going to keep us enslaved. But the general, I forget his name, got out there and said, well, y'all are free. Y'all are free. That's why I celebrate June 19th as Juneteenth as my Liberation Day. And y'all want me to get biblical on you. Well, I'll get biblical on you. 3,400 years prior to that, the Israelites left Egypt 3,400 years ago. And they wrote this story and they called it the Exodus. And tomorrow when I go to church, I bet you someone mentioned the Exodus. But on the contrary, they don't want us to remember 161 years, but they can talk about something happened 3,400 years ago. That makes sense. Therefore, I'm celebrating Juneteenth. However, if you want to get out there and pop your fireworks and do whatever you do, have at it. But Timbo has already celebrated my Freedom Day. I did that last week in my brother and sister-in-law's backyard. And if anybody was anybody near their phone and my friends, they saw me. Because I'm happy to be free. And I'm not going back. Because I grew up in the Jim Crow South. Good luck with that. But that's another story for another time. And this is where I ran into trouble the first Timbo show on Saturday. Then I started talking about the Iran war and how we lost. And people from all over the country were calling me, telling me, man, you start talking about it, your stuff start buffering. Do you actually think they listen to what I'm saying? Do you think they listen to what old Timbo's saying about the Iran war and that we lost? This is how we lost the war, ladies and gentlemen. Timbo Faulkner served in the United States Air Force honorably and the United States honorably. And I studied in each branch I was in. I knew about the Strait of Hormuz. I knew that we don't mess with Iran. Every president from Reagan on knew that. You talk tough, but you don't attack them. Oh, we're going to blow you up. We're going to blow your house up. But the Iranians always had their straight her moves in their back pocket. And everyone, Reagan threatened them, talking about he was going to blow them out the water. Bush threatened them, talking about he was going to blow them out the water. Clinton, same thing. Herbert Walker Bush, same thing. Not Herbert Walker, W. Bush, same thing. Barack Obama, same thing. We're going to blow y'all up, y'all don't stop. Donald Trump, first term, we're going to blow y'all up. Joe Biden, man, y'all don't stop, we're going to blow you up. Donald Trump came back his second term. He thought he was Genghis Khan, Napoleon Bonaparte. He gonna run the world. He took over Venezuela because they nationalized their oil, so he got rid of Maduro. And he went to Iran to take over their oil and put his puppet in there because he said he was gonna run it. I'm gonna run Iran. We're gonna control all the oil in the Persian Gulf. But the Iranians laid for him. They studied Ukraine versus Russia. And they set up what they call an asymmetric war. The United States shooting $2 million Tomahawk missiles, cruise missiles, cost $1 million. Iran had a few ballistic missiles, enough, but they had drones. And they were overwhelmed. You know, they got an Iron Dome over there, supposedly going to stop them from getting hit. But they sent the ballistic missiles and the drone and a swarm of drones, and the Iron Dome didn't know who to hit. And while they shooting out the ballistic missiles, the drones hitting them, blowing up everything. They done blew up 16 to 17 our bases in the area. They ain't telling you that. But I came back determined to let you know. They got satellites. The United States turned their satellites off, won't let you see nothing. But other countries got satellites as well. They can show you before and they can show you after. Before and after. The Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, ran by a 3-star admiral named Renshaw. That admiral is living in a bunker because they blew up his headquarters. They got AWACS planes that were sitting on the runway. AWACS cost about $700 million because it was a flying command post. They blew that up. They blew up these THAAD batteries that's supposed to shoot stuff out of the sky that cost over $1 billion. They hit 4 of them. You know how they did it? China gave them the grid coordinates. And when Trump went over there and talked to Xi said, yeah, I'm helping them. Now what? Trump came home and said, okay, give them what they want. We done. No. The Persians, Iranians are very brilliant people. They laid for America. America fighting the last war. Aircraft carriers. Tomahawk missiles costing $2 or $3 million. But you know, running thing, the industrial complex. They want you to shoot bombs so they can build more and sell more. But the Iranians, they want to control the Strait of Hormuz, and they want to control all of the oil in and out. And now they got it. And Trump played right into their hands. And they can try to take me down, but I just want y'all to know, y'all been played. It's out there if you search the internet. They can't control every satellite. They telling y'all, all they tell you is this: we hit all our targets in Iran. But they don't tell you that we got troops over there in the area living in hotels, hired neither do they. Or living in a commercial building because they can't go back to their bases. Now they may come for me. Hold on. Somebody at my door. It's a black, oh my God. I'm going to terminate this, boy. No. You think they ain't listening? They are. I'm telling y'all stuff that y'all was going to find out later. Y'all say, oh, Timbo was right. No. You can't trust the media in this country. Donald Trump they sit in the White House with him. They cover up stuff from you. Do your own research. And if Timbo come up missing, this is what y'all do. What I always said you do. You can't scare me. I live this long. No, but they don't want y'all to know what's really going on. Because I'm going to leave you with this before they cut me off again. If you want a war, any conflict, why would you give the loser 14 concessions? They have 14 things they want, you give them all, but you won. Tell me another lie. No, I did this because I was angry because they cut me off because I didn't just get one call. I got calls from all over the country. They was like, as soon as you start talking, everything started buffering. Well, if it buffered this time, oh well. Then I went to my reels and I went to my story. It wasn't there. Why not? But, I'm going to segue into another topic. My third and final topic is, it's something that's going to help your soul out. Tomorrow at Peace and Goodwill, Church of God in Christ, 15311 3rd Avenue, Phoenix, Illinois, where I'm a proudly usher security parking lot attendant. That's right. When you first walk through that door, you're going to see me in the parking lot. And if you're important, I'm going to get a spot for you. Y'all all important. I just play. I ain't serious. You don't have to have a state. You got to be, somebody important. Do you? Well, we'll see if you pull up. But I digress. The bottom line is, we having our annual Men's Day, and we would love for you to come at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think our theme is men standing behind men. And we got to stand together. Because men got to stand up. Because in these perilous times, we can't leave it to the women to be. The women have their role in life. They have their role, and it's respected, and they are great at it. But one thing a woman can't do is be a man because she never had a man's experience. Every woman I've been with, I've told them over and over, when they teenage young men get out of control, I say, you've been a lot of things, but you ain't never been a teenage boy. And that speaks volumes to a man. A woman can't explain to a boy what growing up being 17 is like. But a man can say, oh, yeah, I got you. Oh, you sneaked out that window the other night. I understand. I ain't going to be as hard on you as your mama is. You wrong for doing it. But trust and believe, I know what you're talking about. But my main point about church tomorrow, I done got distracted here. My main point is, I'm just going to go there. When I was down in Lambert, Mississippi, I was in my, early adolescence. And my brother, all of my friends I looked up to, all of them, one is deceased now, they formed a group called the Delta Wonders. That's right. I ain't gonna name them all. They know who they are. And Huck didn't make the cut. No, I didn't make it. That hurt me to my heart, y'all. Y'all talking about Michael Jordan didn't cut? When I got cut from the Delta Wonders, I was like, I don't know if I can sing, but I ain't get a shot. So I spent my whole life, I've had great accomplishments. I've done a lot of things. And everybody knows me, I've done quite a bit. But up until recently, this was the first time I got to sing in a men's choir at Peace and Goodwill. And we coming back. We coming back. The Peace and Goodwill men's choir will be singing tomorrow. And I will be up there singing in the baritone section. I will be the fourth baritone in a 3 baritone section, but I'm still happy with that. No. And this will be my last performance. Because after watching all of these people that I idolized growing up, in music, like Frankie Beverly of Maze, Gladys Knight, and Lionel Richie was on stage recently and got dizzy at 77. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. This is my last performance with the Peace and Goodwill Men's Choir. I don't want to be up on stage in the baritone section. I don't want to be up there and people saying Tim just hung around just a little too long. Because my boy Frankie Beverly, I saw him at least 20 concerts. And the last time I saw him, I was almost in tears. Because he was up there, y'all know the words. I was like, Lord have mercy. But I still said, I know the words, but man, I paid for this ticket, so I'm not singing. I'm not here to perform, I'm here to watch. I love you guys, but I ain't doing that. So getting back to my story, this is my last year singing with Peace and, not my last year. I'm going to think about it, whether I want to come back for the next annual Men's Day or not. But if you want to see Timbo in his final performance, mercy for y'all, come by the church house tomorrow. Have a good day.